Country background: Argentine, country of South America covering most of the southern portion of the continent. The world's eighth largest country, Argentina occupies and are more extensive than Mexico and the U.S. state of Texas combined. It encompasses immense plains, desert, tundra, and forest, as well as tall mountains, rivers, and thousands of miles of ocean shoreline. Argentina has long played an important role in the continent's history. Following 3 centuries of Spanish colonization, Argentina declared independence in 1860, and Argentine nationalists were instrumental in revolutionary movements elsewhere, a fact that prompted 20th century writer George Louis Borges to observe, South America's independence was a great extent an Argentine enterprise, torn by strife and occasional war between political factions demanding either central authority based in Buenos Aires or provincial autonomy. Argentine tended toward periods of caudillo or strongman leadership, most famously under the presidency of Juan Perón. The 1970s ushered in a period of military dictatorship and repression, during which thousands of presumed dissidents were disappeared or murdered. This ended in the disastrous Falklands Island War of 1982, when Argentina invaded the South Atlantic island it claimed as its own and was defeated by British forces in a short but bloody campaign. Defeat led to the fall of the military regime and the reestablishment of the democratic rule, which has endured despite various economic crises. Land: Argentina is shaped like an inverted triangle with its base at the top. It is some 880 miles across. It is at its widest from east to west and stretches 2,360 miles from the subtropical north to the sub-Atlantic south. The country is bounded by Chile to the south and west, Bolivia and Paraguay to the north, and Brazil, Uruguay, and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. Its undulating Atlantic coastline stretches some 2,900 miles. Language: Spanish is the national language, although in Argentina it is spoken in several accents and had absorbed many words from other languages, especially Italian. Numerous foreign languages and dialects can be heard, from Basque and Sicilian to Welsh and Gaelic. Toward to the end of 19th century, an underworld language called Lunfardo developed in Buenos Aires, composed of words of many languages, among them Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, French, German, and language from Africa. Lunfardo is now often heard in the lyrics of tango music. Ethnic groups: Heavy migration, particularly from Spain and Italy, has produced in Argentina a people who are almost all of European ancestry. In the colonial period, French and Spanish explorers or settlers encountered a number of native peoples. Among these were the Diaguita of the Andean Northwest, town-dwelling agricultural people who were forced into labor after they were conquered. They were divided by the Spanish into small groups and were sent to work in Peru and the Rio de la Plata area. In the Mesopotamian region, to semi-agricultural Guarani also were forced into labor. Cultural life: Almost all Argentines are descendants of immigrants from Europe, and Argentine culture is a lively blend of Europe customs and Latin American innovations. Whereas earlier generations of intellectuals, writers, composers, filmmakers, and visual artists looked to European models, the country has developed artistic forms that are uniquely Argentine, most famously the tango, the sexually charged dance of the Buenos Aires dockside district, and as well as the dance, metaphysical stories of large Louis Borges, which evoke the back alleys of the capital at the vast pampas. Alike, the tension between those two milies are important in Argentine thought, for although most Argentines are urban and look to the Porteños, our presidents of Buenos Aires are arbiters of taste and trends. The interior has given to all Argentines their symbol of national identity. The gaucho, who occupies a position in South America lore similar to that of the cowboy in the United States, sojourned in his heyday of the 18 and 19 centuries as a drinker and vagabond. This mestizo branch had rode the open rangeland of the huge estancias in pursuit of wild horses and Criollo cattle. Eventually, Argentines came to see him as a character whose solitary life taught himself resilience, courage, indifference to hardship, and love of the land, traits that represented in the ideal of their national character as set out in the national epic poem El Gaucho Martin Fierro by Jose Hernandez, in Ricardo Gilardi's fictional classic Don Segunda Sombra, and his work by Domingo Faustino Sarmiento and Benito Lynch. Daily life and social customs. Daily life in Argentine cities is much as it is in those of Southern Europe. Business and shops open early, close for a long break at midday, and stay open into the evening. Social life takes place both in the streets and lively bars and nightclubs, and meals are an opportunity of confidential exchange. New and old work cultures mean in the Argentine diet, where breakfast is generally a serving for 3 sweet rolls and coffee in the French fashion, and supper in taken in the Spanish tradition, after 9 p.m. often featuring Italian dishes. The New World assets itself the Argentine passion for beef cooked in the grill, which is overwhelmingly preferred to the other meats and fish. Argentina consumes more beef per capita than any other nation except Uruguay, twice the amount per capita as the United States. Buenos Aires is renowned for its steakhouse, but nearly every culinary tradition is represented in one or more of the city's restaurants. Made the native talcott tea-like beverage brewed from yerba mate leaves is popular in the countryside and is drunk from a good through a strainer. It is either sipped individually or shared in an important social ritual. Argentina is one of the largest wine producers in the world, and its varietal red wines are highly prized in carnivores, though most production goes towards supplying high domestic consumption. Now, before you go, most of Argentina is relatively safe from natural disaster. The exception are the San Miguel de Tucumán and Mendoza areas in Andes, which are subject to earthquakes. Violent windstorms can strike the Pampas and Northeast, heavily flooding may also occur. The greatest risk to travelers is from street crime, which has often been an issue in Argentine politics. Such crime is not usually violent but often manifests as scams and card theft. Corrupt officials, especially rural policemen, have been known to extort fines from travelers. This seems to be on the increase since the economic dislocation of 2001. In 2005, Argentina ranked 97th of 158 countries in Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. See www.transparency.org for further information. For more discussion of Transparency International, see Appendix B. And next is protocol. Greetings. Number 1. Except when greeting close friends, it is traditional to shake hands briefly and nod to both men and women. 2. Close male friends shake hands or embrace upon meeting. Men kiss close female friends. 3. Travelers should be attentive to Argentina's unique name conventions. They are different from many other Spanish-speaking cultures. 4. Rather than include the surnames of both parents in their full names, Argentines generally use just one surname. For example, a business card might say Señor Alberto Paz or Señor Alberto Paz Esteban. In both cases, Paz or Paz Esteban would be his father's name. His mother's surname will probably not appear. 5. The word "the" may be used in surnames, particularly by women who want to add their husband's family names to their own. 6. With Argentines may have double first name in their business card. They might not use both those names in person or in print. And 7. Appendix A contains further data on titles and forms of address. Gestures. 1. The Argentine people converse at a closer distance than North American or Northern Europeans are used to, often with a hand on the other person's level or shoulders. 2. Maintaining eye contact is very important, something that North American might find difficult while speaking into a person at such close quarters. 3. A pat on the shoulder is a sign of friendship. 4. The gesture that some North Americans use to mean so-so is common in Argentina. The meaning is the same: twisting the flat, open hand from side to side. Number 5. A sweeping gesture beginning under the chin and continuing up to the top of a head is used to mean "I don't know" or "I don't care." And 6. With thumb and middle finger touching, one taps them with the index finger to indicate hurry up or a lot. 7. Avoiding placing your hands on your hips while speaking. 8. Sit only on chairs, not on a ledge, box, or table. And 9. Eating in the street or on public transportation is considered impolite. Gifts. 1. High taxes on imported liquor makes this a highly appreciated gift. Scotch and French champagne are popular. 2. As in any country, gifts should be beautifully designed and of superior workmanship. If the item is produced by your corporation, the corporate name or logo should appear distinctly, not be emblazoned over the whole surface. 3. Avoiding giving knives. They symbolize the severing of friendship. 4. Electronic gadgets like iPods are popular. 5. Argentina is a major cattle producer and thus a major leather producer. Avoid bringing leather gifts. If you are invited to an Argentine home, bring a gift of flowers, imported chocolates, or whiskey. Bird paradise flowers are appreciated. And the last one is dress. Number one, dress is very important for making a good impression in Argentina. Your entire wardrobe will be scrutinized. Two, while Argentines are more in touch with European clothing styles than many Latin Americans, they tend toward the modest and the subdued. Number three, business dress in Argentina is fairly conservative. Dark suits and ties for men, white blouses and dark suits for skirts for women. 4. Men many wear the same Men may wear the same dark suit for evening wear. Women should wear a dress or skirt. 5. Both men and women wear pants and casual wear. If you are meeting business associates, avoid jeans and wear a black or blazer. 6. Indian clothing is for Indians. Don't adopt any native costumes no matter how attractive. The same goes for gaucho outfits. 7. Bring lightweight clothing for the summer and top coats and sweaters for the winter. Don't forget that the seasons in South America are the reverse of those in the Northern Hemisphere. And 8. Don't wear anything outside that can be damaged by water during Carnival. Drenching pedestrians is a favorite carnival pastime of the young.